Hey everyone, I am so excited to share this technique with you of pleating a bishop first and then sewing the shoulder seams together. Now it does take a few extra minutes, but the benefits of being able to use thicker fabric, not having to worry about breaking those needles over those shoulder seams, and not having those shoulder seams cause bulk in your pleats, I think it's well worth the few extra minutes. So you'll start this like any other bishop. Just cut out your pattern pieces like normal. I'm using the Children's Corner bishop pattern pattern, but this technique will work for any pattern and any style of bishop. And then you'll use a water-soluble marker to mark your seam allowance, or an erasable marker, whatever you have on hand. In my case, the seam allowance is 1/2 inch, which that's what I'm marking. So now you'll thread up your pleater, and that's completely up to you and your pattern on how many needles to use. And then take the first piece for your bishop. So if your bishop closes in the back, then your first piece will be one of the back pieces. And then vice versa, if your bishop closes in the front, then your first piece will be one of the front pieces. So I rolled my left back piece onto a dowel with the right side of the fabric facing up. And then I just pleated this like normal. And when you get to the end of your first piece, you'll actually take the whole piece off of your pleater and then take the threads out to the nearest pleat by your seam allowance. Of course, it's not an exact science and it does not need to be. Don't overthink it. Close enough is just fine here. Then roll up whichever sleeve comes next for you. In my case, I rolled up the left sleeve with the right side facing up, right side of the fabric facing up. Be careful to be consistent about rolling up the fabric pieces in the same manner, either with all of them right sides of the fabric facing up or all of them wrong sides of the fabric facing down, whatever your pleater calls for. Anywho, feed this piece through a little bit until you get to your seam allowance mark. And again, just go to the nearest pleat to that seam allowance mark and you'll kind of free your needles, if you will. Just take the seam allowance off the needles, that portion of the fabric. I hope that makes sense. Then thread your pleater again and continue to pleat. And what you have now created, this is life-changing, folks. What you've now created is a pleated sandwich, if you will. You'll continue this method until all of your pieces have been pleated together. Then I pulled the pleating threads taut before taking the dress to my machine. Pulling the threads taut ensures that you don't sew over any of those threads, and it also as well as matches up the pleats for you. So you'll sew as close to the pleating threads as possible without sewing over it. And then to finish the seam off, I guess you could run it through your serger or a zigzag over the raw edges, whatever your preference is, but personally I liked the idea of doing a mock French seam instead. So that means that I cut 1/2 of the seam down to about 1/8 of an inch or so, and then folded over the other half twice, so the folded edge would line up with the machine stitches, and then I use those machine stitches to secure my hand sewing to, and this creates a lovely little mocked French seam. And that's all there is to it. Go ahead and block the bishop like normal. I have many videos that show how to block a bishop and the rest of the steps to finish those side seams and all of that jazz. So I will link them along with this lovely super fine flannel that I've used for the tutorial, and anything. There's lots of other goodies in the description box below. This fabric, it is one of my favorite fabrics for the little ones. It is so soft and cozy. But at any rate, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. As always, I appreciate y'all for watching and I hope to catch y'all next time.